Hi, I'm Patrick Kolbeck. This video is just an opportunity to get to know me a little bit better. I haven't been in politics for over 3 decades like somebody else that's running in this race. And so you may not have heard my name before, and if you have heard my name, you probably don't know too much about my background. Well, this is an opportunity to share that background with you. First of all, I want to point out that I've got a unique blend compared to any of the other gubernatorial candidates in this race. Number one, I've got over 2 decades of private sector experience. And number two, I've got over 2 terms serving in the public sector as a Michigan State Senator for the 7th District. That's very unique among all the candidates. You either have all public sector experience or you have all private sector experience. It's very important to have a blend of both. So in the private sector, I've had a career as, first of all, an aerospace engineer, management consultant, and a small business owner. In the public sector, had 2 terms. I'm serving on my 8th year now in the Michigan State Senate. In the private sector, as an aerospace engineer, I worked on some of the most challenging programs known to mankind. Matter of fact, I was a senior design engineer with Boeing on the International Space Station, where I was responsible for the design of different systems that made up the overall environmental control and life support system on Space Station. Happy to say that it is indeed supporting life and has been working very effectively. I also taught at Space Camp while I was out there, and then went on to work at the Department of Defense, where I worked on some advanced training simulation systems for the Department of Defense as a systems engineer responsible for integrating the virtual reality training systems for many different branches of the armed forces. And that's where I learned an appreciation for the men and women who serve us in the armed forces. I worked for an awesome Marine Corps major by the name of Chuck Peabody, and he taught me what real leadership is all about. So when I came back after doing a stint with the Department of Defense, my wife and I decided to come back up to Michigan, and where I took a job working initially as an FAA certification engineer with a company out in Livonia, where we manufactured air cargo systems. After about a week, I turned my focus to actually improving the operations at that facility, and headed up the program management department there, where I turned around our on-time delivery from around 17% to over 70% in a little over a year. That was a big turnaround. That led to a career in management consulting, where I spent 11 years helping to turn around business operations for my clients. I did 6 of those years. I did so on my own as a small business owner. So I've got a track record of turning around operations, taking on some of the biggest challenges that are out there and being successful at it, which led to me running for the Michigan Senate back in 2010. I had no political experience prior to that, no political network. My wife and I are not rich, yet we made a commitment to go off and run for the Michigan Senate seat in 2010 because we were upset with the direction our country was headed in. We were upset with the direction our state was headed in. In the final analysis, I became the first person elected directly into the Michigan State Senate in over 3 decades with 0 political experience, and I beat 4 former state representatives in the process. That was a big achievement, and you'll see in my history and my background a track record of not only setting big goals, but actually achieving big goals. And that's exactly what I want to do as Michigan's next governor on your behalf.